Welcome, guys. Welcome to the 0 people who are on the stream right now. This is for the YouTubers.
Oh yeah.
In this video, I'll be finally giving you guys the guide that none of you guys asked for. I'm not even gonna front. No one was like, "Hey, HDeezus, need that Lawbringer guide. Come on and give it to me." All right, fans, I give you the Lawbringer guide. Nah. It's not like that. This is my guide. I wanted to do this for a while. I had some technical issues regarding the mic, but now I got a new mic and I'm good to go. I'm joined once again by Final Round's very own Brindamus. What's up, brother?
Yo. What's up?
He will be my my assistant today. We are in a lab session, which pretty much just means like a practice session where damage. Oh wow, where damage doesn't matter. We're not dueling to the death or anything like that. Just so I can showcase the different aspects that you, an aspiring Lawbringer, will need to know in order to play this class efficiently. I will say that if you do, or if you are interested in seeing me and Damas clash our blades against each other in a very homoerotic way, no homo, super mega extra homo, turbo gay, I do have a video where we do a best of 99 duels. Shit had me drained, yo. So if you want to know how to play exclusively against an Orochi, a skilled Orochi as a Lawbringer, or even if you play Orochi and you want to see how to deal with a Lawbringer, then definitely check that out. Without further ado, let me get into what I will be going over today in this guide. We will go with going just down the list, okay? So, I'm pretty much going to tell you guys the goal of the Lawbringer, like what the Lawbringer does, how easy or difficult he is to play, his strengths, weaknesses, the roles that he has specifically in Dominion, notable abilities that he has, recommended feats and abilities, offensive and defensive tactics, knowing your opponent's class in order to be successful as a Lawbringer. Let's see, what else we got here? Your staple confirms, or confirm as you'll learn soon. And confirms essentially mean an attack that guarantees another attack. I'm going to explain these combos that I see in all these other Lawbringer guides. And I'm going to give you pretty much the solid variant of them because you can't be flamboyant with it. I'll get more into detail into that. I'll tell you what not to do and what you probably should do in that regard. We'll go over revenge mode tactics, how you should be handling yourself when you're in revenge mode. And then I'm just going to go into some honor code stuff. You know, the creator of the game said that he wanted this game to have players define what their sense of honor is. So I'm going to give you my sense of honor. And just go over things that people get salty about and some things that get me salty as well, and close it out that way. Also note that while recording this, I already recorded an addendum. I'm still stuck on Adonis. Maybe you can help me. I made a video earlier today going over gameplay footage of duels and Dominion, and I want that to kind of be an addition to this guide. I said it was an auxiliary to the guy, but I feel like that's wrong. Isn't it an addendum? Supplement? Supplement sounds better. I'm gonna use supplement.
Pretty good,
yeah, there it is. So I have a video that supplements this video where I go into actual gameplay, dueling and otherwise, and maybe I'll even do a video later that involves me going over one class and a lot of duels. If I find someone who's really good at their class, I'll ask them to duel me so I can record it. And I'll go into depth, class by class, the strategy on how to deal with it. But without further ado, let me get started. So, you want to play the Lawbringer. Well, what's the Lawbringer's goal? What makes a Lawbringer a Lawbringer? Well, as the game does tell you, the Lawbringer is pretty much a counter-attacker, which is pretty much up for your imagination on what you would consider a counter-attack. But I'll give a quick example. Damas, why don't you go ahead and attack me? pretty much the ability to shove after you take an attack. That's pretty much, if you ask me, that's what the game meant by saying that he's a counterattacker, because when you have an unblockable attack, or not an unblockable attack, but an uninterruptible attack, you will glow white, like how you see that right there, or whitish blue. That's pretty much an armor. And we don't have that in our attacks but the shove. So go ahead and attack me again, Damas. So I went through his attack and pushed him there. And so you can consider that a counterattack. So the Lawbringer is a counterattacker, and that means that that move, that counterattacks, is your bread and butter. I don't see a lot of Lawbringers doing it. They really should be doing it a lot more. And I'll get into that shove more in detail in a second. The goal of the Lawbringer and Dominion, I will go over now officially how I play Dominion. In Dominion, if you're on Team HDeezus, you're on my team, and you're a pre-made, every player is a piece of a chessboard, and for now, there are only two pieces. There is the Rook, and there is the Knight. Damas in my team serves the role as the Knight, and I am the Rook. So I'll go over the Rook, and then I'll give some information on the Knight as well, I guess. So the Rook's job is pretty much like, let's just say that this map right here is broken off into 3 points. We'll just call this point B, that point over there A, and that point over there is C. As the Rook, when you spawn in, you look for either point A or point C, and then you go to it. And then you pretty much defend that point forever, essentially. You don't kill somebody at this point and then go off to point B and kill NPCs or whatever. You don't help your teammates at point C. If nobody is at the point that you're at, you stay there and you defend that point. You generate way more points than you otherwise would if you left that point. And again, I already made the supplement to that to go specifically in detail. So if I miss anything here, which I don't think I will, check out that video where I go into Dominions. And then as a Rook, you pretty much just go there. You draw the attention of multiple people, so you're not expected to fight just one person. If you play Lawbringer and you play my way, expect to duel people in a 2v1, 3v1, and even 4v1s consistently. Don't worry about dying. If you die, while there were more than one person on you, you're still serving your team justice because your team is outnumbering them somewhere else, or we're maintaining 2 points. So the goal of the Lawbringer in Dominion is to play the Rook role and defend points. I'll briefly go over the Knight just so you can understand what the Knight does. The Knight goes point to point. The general tactic for me and my team when we run Dominion is there are 3 total points in the game, and we want 2 points, and that's it. The main points that we want are points A and point C. Point B is nice to have while we're locking down A and C. But the 2 points that we attain to have is A and C. The Knight's role is simple. The Knight pretty much harasses point B, kills the minions, and kills the players who are at point B, and then moves to their assigned points. So for now, there are 2 Rooks and there are 2 Knights. Let's say Damas is my Knight. So that means he will be rotating between points A and point B, back and forth. And then if it's really necessary, he will go to point C if need be. But mainly, he'll be defending or backing me up at point A. And then if we don't have point B, he will harass and hopefully even get point B. If we're in a situation
just
where
a quick note, real quick. Not every stage goes by the same point A, point B, point C.
Very good point.
On some stages, the troops and stuff will be at point B, and then other stages they'll be at point C. So
right. To my knowledge, for now at least, I believe that's on one stage. That stage is called Shard. And in that one, points A and points B are the points that are uncontested by NPCs. That map throws off my strategy a little bit because I'm not sure. Maybe even works even better. But the 2 rooks will still be at points A and then points B for shard. Pretty much you want to defend the one that's not contested by NPCs. Unless you play a certain setup with your class that makes use of a certain feat. Maybe I'll go over that when I go over feats. But for every other stage, keep in mind that it's A and C for the main point. But Damas did bring up a really good point, so keep that in mind. Okay, so if we're in a situation where we have points A and point C, as the Lawbringer, you're still defending point A or point C depending on where you're stationed at, but now your Knight is going to be defending it with you. So it's going to be in a 2v2 format or a 2v3 format, and ideally a 2v4 format. Because if there are 4 people at point A, they're trying to take A, then hopefully the Knight from point C will be going after point B and taking that. So that's how it works in a pre-made format. That's how we're going to be moving in that situation. But the role of the Lawbringer is to stay and defend. One more scenario. Let's say that we broke the enemy team and they're in a sudden death. What do? If you have 2 points at that instance, your goal is to wait until you've gained 100 points above the amount of points that it took to get to that state. So for those who don't know Dominion, I'm going to try to keep this brief. I'm going to try to keep this whole video as brief as possible. But in Dominion, you pretty much gain points up to 1,000. And once you reach 1,000 points, the enemy team is put in a sudden death state. And if they die in that state, they cannot be resurrected if they are executed. And if they are not executed, they can be resurrected, but it's difficult to do. So as a Lawbringer, once your team reached 1,000 points and they're in sudden death, you're going to have the urge to just go down there and finish the fight. The problem with that is if you leave before you reached 100 points more than 1,000, so 1,100 points, and an enemy pretty much goes to your point that's now undefended, they now take that point, which loses 100 points for you and gains 100 points for them, putting us at 900 points, and then it breaks their sudden death, which means they can all res again. So as a Lawbringer, your goal is to stay there and defend until, even if they take that point back, they will still be in sudden death. So keep that in mind. You're going to be locked in place. The goal of a Lawbringer in duels is pretty much to attack their stamina. That's what you're playing. If you want to play someone who does a lot of damage quick, you're going to go after the assassins, notably the Orochi or the Berserker. But the Lawbringer, our way of killing our opponent is draining their stamina. As you can see with my shove, it attacks their stamina. And once I take his stamina down a little bit, and he's trying to gain stamina back, my shove keeps him gassed out. So we want to keep our opponents gassed out as much as possible. And then we can abuse tactics, i.e. throwing them when they're gassed out to make them fall, which guarantees a free top-heavy attack. I'll get into detail on that in a second. So that's the goal of a Lawbringer in duels. In modes, even modes like Dominion, but in modes like Skirmish or Elimination, the Lawbringer kind of plays a utilitarian role, where we have abilities that displace our opponent. Like one more, you've got the shove, but we also have 2 abilities where we sprint, we heavy attack, which pushes them far. It looks like it pushes them a short distance from my point of view, but when you're getting attacked, it is much further than it looks. And if you hit them against a wall or an obstacle, they're stunned there and you're guaranteed a hit. The other way you displace somebody is with your back and guard break at the same time. And you'll know superstes, it's Latin. That's a lore thing on HDeezus. Maybe I'll go over that in another video, but I love Latin. And not only does it displace your enemy, but it takes their stamina down, further contributing to the goal of Lawbringer. The goal of Lawbringer when fighting your opponent is not to just outright kill them, even though you will in a lot of cases. Your goal is to drain their stamina and use their attacks to help drain their stamina as well. So that's the goal of the Lawbringer in a combat scenario. Again, I'll go into details of the actual abilities. Rolls in the minion, notable abilities. All right, next is up. Notable abilities. All right, so my favorite ability in the game is the shove. Before I actually go into detail, I'm not gonna list these moves in its entirety. I'm gonna just have it open and then scroll down a little bit so you can see what it is. I don't know why people go into every attack. Disrespectful to you guys, man. You guys can press start and look at the move list. But the notable move list that I'm going over is right here. The shoves and then the shove mix-ups. This is essentially to sidestep or dash and then guard break. This is after you block and then you press guard break. And this is if you land a heavy attack and then you can guard break. It's my favorite move. It's the Lawbringer's bread and butter. And it looks like this. That's the dashing method. You can dash forward and you can dash to the side and do it. You can dash backwards and not do it. But oh. So keep that in mind. The other way that you can dash is if you block an attack. So go ahead, Domus, attack me. In order to do this, you don't have to dash. Do it again. You just press guard break after it's done. And then the final way to do it is after you've landed an attack. After you've landed a heavy attack. So those are the ways that you get your shove off. It's the Lawbringer's most important ability. It needs to be done by every single Lawbringer. There's just no way around it. The other notable ability is the fact that his top heavy attack stuns. If you see Domus's head, there's that swirling swivel effect. He even shakes his head once it's out. Let's do some math real quick. Let's see. 1, 2, about 2 seconds of stun. And when they're stunned, they can't see where my attack is coming from. They can still look at where my weapon is and my stance, so keep that in mind as well. So that's a notable ability, so to speak, I suppose. Another notable ability is while running, while not locked onto opponent, you do your heavy attack, which, by the way, I should say that to me, your left bumper on Xbox One, I'm not even going to PlayStation variants. No, yes, I am. I'm a pro. R1 for PlayStation, or left or right bumper, excuse me, for Xbox One are light attacks, and R2 or right trigger for Xbox One are heavy. So if I say light or heavy, just know. All right. So the other notable attack is your running and then your heavy attack button. While sprinting or while running, you press it. It's notable because it pushes people into walls or pushes them off of ledges. So it's useful in that regard. The final notable ability is back and guard break at the same time. And you'll flip them, you'll knock them down. And it drains their stamina. It's a good tool to use against an opponent who has revenge, because in a situation where your opponent has revenge, they'll want to revenge during an attack. But if you throw them instead, it pretty much wastes their duration of revenge mode. So it's really useful in that regard. Any other notable abilities? Yes, there is. All right, so everybody has a parry, but go ahead, Domus, and attack me. We have that move, which comes after a parry. I'll do it again. So, all right, one more time. One more again. So normally, if I would have just parry, I'd get him away from me. But the Lawbringer has something called a parry riposte, which is that we can do the parry and a light attack. That's a notable ability. I'll go over like the bad variants of it, but that's important to have as well, that we have that ability. And I'll go over the unblockable as well. So the unblockable is a part of a moveset. I'm only gonna glance by it, pause if you need to, but that icon right there, which is pretty much light, heavy, heavy. The last heavy of that combo turns into an unblockable. You can mix up your attack like this. It is not working because I suck. There we go. So I did a right one, a left one. That's a light version. I messed up because I'm trying to be too fancy here. And then you can do an unblockable top heavy. In terms of rating, your top heavy unblockable is the most valuable because not only is it unblockable, but it also stacks with the ability to stun. Yeah, exactly. Notable downside to that is your opponent knows that as well, and they're going to be able to sidestep you. But I'll get into that in a second as well. There are other abilities, but the ones that I just went over are pretty much the notable abilities right there. All right, recommended feats I'll go over in a second because I want to stay in this room as long as possible before going back. So, offensive tactics. I kind of already went over this, so I'll just graze over it again. Your offensive tactics as a Lawbringer is the mix-up game. You want to pretty much be using your shove as the cement that keeps your offense together, but you also want to utilize the ability to shove after landing a heavy attack. The problem with this tactic already is that your attacks are very slow and that people are going to easily be able to sidestep them, parry them, deflect them, all that. So, yeah, just like that, it's really easy to just react to them. Now, the way that you turn this into an offensive tactic is you utilize the knowledge that your opponent has that your attacks are slow. So when your opponent tries to sidestep you, you feint instead. You feint by pressing B as soon as your attack goes off, and you'll cancel it. You can use that into your parry as well to pretty much get an offensive edge. That is how you're going to get most of your damage against an average opponent. Against an opponent who understands that you're going to feint, you also have the other approach of feinting into offense. So before I feinted, waited for my opponent to sidestep and then go for a parry attempt, but here I feint offensively. It'll still lose the sidestep attacks, so understand that if your opponent just sidestep attacks all the time, you want to just constantly feint your heavy attack and then parry it as well. If your opponent you're finding your opponent who's sidestep attacking you or just sidestepping, you do sidestep attacks. If you find your opponent just sidestepping, then at the very least your attack will get punished. So, keep in mind, guys, this is a one take thing. Okay, like I can't edit this or anything like that. But I will introduce you guys to my future editor, Damas, right here. He eventually will get to a point where he'll start editing for me. But
yeah.
for now, this is a one take thing. So this is sloppy, dirty, but hopefully it's just as informative. All right. The other offensive is pretty much standard amongst all characters, but it's crucial for the Lawbringer. It's the mix-up game. So most of your defense or your offensive pressure will come from your options after a shove. You have about 3 main options. You have shove, attack, shove, guard break, and then you have shove, no suppresses. That's your mix-up. Consider it a 33-33-33 mix-up, which means there's a 33% chance that your opponent can guess right or wrong, depending. So if my opponent thinks that I'm going to guard break them, they're going to counter. If they think they're going to guard break me again, then I'll mix them up, and instead of guard break, I'll do that. And if they are expecting either a guard break or a no supprestes, you can attack. And sometimes even catch them before they sidestep, or after if they just sidestep a little too late. So those are your main ends, and you pretty much just want to mix it up. But the key aspects is feinting your attacks and going into it. Main combos that you're going to be doing are light, heavy, heavy, which is... And the reason why is because you want to utilize that unblockable. Not always let it rip, but you want to use it. because your opponents are going to want to parry that, and then you can feint that attack as well. It's very useful. But your main goal is essentially to drain your opponent of all their stamina. And when they're drained of all of their stamina,
there it is.
you knock them down, dash forward, get the heavy attack, and then go from your pressure from there, because you've got a free top heavy attack, which means they're stunned, and you can continue some pressure that way. So mix-up is the name of the game, feinting is the name of the game, and finally guard breaking is the name of the game, because if you land a guard break, you get a free heavy attack, which is mainly the only way you're going to land the heavy attacks. He's scared of me. The main way he's going to land those heavy attacks. Because you're not going to land them raw. They're going to either block them, sidestep them, or parry them. Again, I'm making this guide for those who aren't going against beginning opponents. I'm under the assumption that you want to watch this to deal with average to above average players. And so understand that you're not going to land raw heavy attacks. The main way you're going to land those is from guard breaks. And if you land the guard break and you land the heavy attack, you have to shove. Something to note as well, that your opponent cannot defend against side attacks, but they can defend against top attacks. So keep that in mind. Don't do top attacks when you land a guard break. Don't do top attacks at all, honestly. The only time you should be doing a top heavy attack is for spacing, if you want to fall back, or a whiff punish, or if you knocked your opponent down. Another note as well, offensive tactics. You can't land a heavy attack against them. He got hit. You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Through a top heavy attack, as you can see, he blocks that. But if I do a top light attack, he gets revenge now. But he landed the top light. If you throw the top light attack, it is guaranteed. That goes as well for the side attacks. The final offensive tactic is mainly a no-no. When you're engaging your opponent, you want to remain in top stance and throw your attacks there. The reason being is because your light attacks are pretty much as fast as everybody's heavy attacks, pretty much. It's slow, it's dangerous to do, and the rule of thumb is if your light attack can be parried easily, don't do it. Or do it very rarely, but don't do it. My goal for you guys is to tell you the tactic. And the tactic is, if you keep attacking them in top stance, they're going to be conditioned to stay in top mode. What that does is it helps you defend against them, because now you're already in top stance and you're forcing them to be in the top stance. I can't move. Okay, there we go. For some reason I couldn't attack. You're forcing them to be in the top stance, and it's relatively safe to do. Try light attacking me after blocking.
Oh.
Right. So I can't get punished for doing it even though I reel back. This is the Orochi. They're pretty quick. So keep that in mind. Defensive tactics. All right. So defensive tactics are very technical. This actually goes back to the ease of play. I don't know if I actually went over that topic, but pretty much, long story short, Lawbringer is not easy, medium, or hard to play. They are really hard to play. It is not easy to just pick up a Lawbringer and play, mainly for the reasons that I showed you, the limitations that we already have, but mainly because of our defensive options. We have to be able to react to our opponent's attacks and shove them at the very least. That is our statement. So go ahead, Damas, and just flurry me with some random attacks. So not only do I have to read his attack, but I also want to shove him as well. Now he's gassed out. That's our defensive tactic. We gas him out. Now look, our Orochi friend, shut the fuck up. Doesn't want to attack me so much anymore. Now keep in mind, this is me shitting on Damas. He's a good Orochi, and he wouldn't constantly attack me like that because he's aware of the Lawbringer. But again, the average Orochi actually will spam you with attacks and not give themselves time to rest too much. All right, so he got me a little bit, but every time you read those attacks, you pretty much have to shove every time. The other thing that makes them hard is guard break, is that you have to be on point with your guard break. Now, everybody kind of has to be on point with their guard break, but the Lawbringer has to be a pillar. They have to guard break. It's just, it is what it is. So he's shaking me up. He's Kobe Bryant. So if you find yourself not able to block too much,
Scoops.
you also have the sidestep. Now, keep in mind from what I said earlier, you can shield block or shove them after. So you don't have to wait for them to attack you like the Orochis do. You can just sidestep and then shove them. So what'll happen is, if they do the attack early, they'll whiff. If they do it late, I'll still get hit, but now I shove them as well. And so I have the advantage. So, and the final aspect is pretty much parries. Good luck parrying light attacks from an Orochi. I don't challenge you guys to do this, but you know it's there. Defensive tactics, sidestep. I went over the sidestep. That's pretty much about it. Defensively, you just have to be on point. It's more than just blocking with you. You have to know what your opponent can do. So, for example, I'm going against Orochi, and Orochi's an assassin, and all assassins have a sidestep attack. So that means that I want to look out for the sidestep attacks as well. Another thing is that the Orochi has a really strong ability to be in top stance and then do their zone attack. And then, if you can see, if he does it real quick, see how it was like top and right like that? In my opinion, it's impossible to react to, but you have to predict it and expect it. So that's a really fast move. So a defensive tactic versus Orochi specifically is to sit in right stance until you're ready to attack. So when he does that move, you're already going to be able to just shove it. And then whenever you want to attack, you can go back into your top stance. When you're not attacking against Orochi, stay in the right stance. Now they can't do it. All right. The final thing about the defensive tactics is you have to know your specific class. That's next on the list. Knowing your opponent's class. But I already kind of went over that a little bit. I'll go over some popular classes that people have been asking me about. The Shigoki, the defensive tactic against Shigoki is parry Shigokis, and shove Shigokis. The shove counts as an attack, so that means the next time you shove them or attack them or even throw them, their armor will be down. Against Nobushi, they do their ranged attacks. Sidestep is your best friend. You want to be sidestep shoving through their attacks. You're going to be eating a lot of their attacks, but you'll be in their face, which they don't want you to be in their face, and you'll be evading some of their attacks as well and creating offensive pressure. Against Orochi, it's pretty much just giving them the test. Bad Orochi test. Well, not bad Orochi test, but unable to adapt Orochi test. What you do is you dash up to an Orochi and then feint an attack. If they sidestep attack you, then you've downloaded the Orochi. Then at that point, your offensive tactic is essentially to parry their sidestep attack. The Orochi is good and they do that fast attack. Your defensive tactic, like we discussed a little earlier, is to pretty much sit in right stance and keep a distance so that they want to do that attack. It's fast, but you don't need to react to it. And if they do another attack, you'll be able to react to it. So keep that in mind. Against Peacekeepers, they guard break you. So be on point with your guard break. Against Berserker, they flood you with light attacks. So you have to be more on guard with your defensive or just sidestep shove. Any popular one? I mean, I think I kind of went over the popular ones. But since I went over most of the list, fuck it, I'll just go over the entire list here. Raiders, they do unblockable attacks. You want to parry the unblockable attacks. They have a running lunge throw, so sidestep that, and they can throw you to infinity and beyond. So guard break. Conquerors, when they charge up their flail, they take stamina. Stay away from them. Let them do your job for them, because your job is to drain their stamina, and they're sitting there doing it for you. When they stop flailing, when they stop charging that flail, shove them and punish them for their stamina drain. Warlord, they're kind of broken right now, unfortunately, but
nothing you can do about that. Oh well.
You kind of have to be psychic. You have to be psychic because you have to sidestep, not as a reaction to the headbutt. You have to do it before they even headbutt you. A good option select is to sidestep and shove, but unfortunately, if they headbutt your shove, they win. So, it kind of sucks. Valkyrie, they have a 1-2 sweep action, so they do an attack, they do an unblockable sweep. If they hit you with that second attack, there's about an 80% chance that it confirms into the sweep. So make sure that you try to block that second attack or sidestep the sweep attack. You don't want to get hit by that. But against Valkyrie, I believe you can block their attacks and punish them with the guard break. There is an auxiliary where I specifically go over this scenario, so watch that for a little bit more Nobushi information. Who am I missing? I know I'm missing a few people. Oh, the Kensei. Kensei have a dash attack just like the Orochi. Do a sidestep attack for me real quick. As you see, his sidestep attack goes in that direction. One more time. The Kensei, if they dash to that same side, the attack will come from the other way. Kind of important. Throws me off, but very important. Just like the Raider and just like the Lawbringer, the Kensei have an unblockable attack from a combo, but they can cancel it as well. When they guard break you, they stun you as well if they shove you to a certain area. So be careful about that. Warden, how can I forget the Warden? Oh man, fucking love the Warden. Warden, they're all over the place, just like the Orochi. The Warden has a very quick zone attack. That attack comes from the left side. Does it? Left or right side? I can't remember right now, but just when you see it once,
I think it's either.
No,
it can be from either side.
Oh god, no, that'd be crazy broken.
Well, I might be thinking of the running attack.
Yeah, maybe.
Running attack and the zone attack look very similar.
Yeah, the zone attack's that like quick, like baseball home run stance formation where he spins. It goes one way. I believe it's the right. I want to say it's it's the left. It's the left side. Don't quote me on that, okay, guys? I don't know. It's from one side. It's static. So just know that. So just like the Orochi,
be on guard. That's the
right.
The motion. Be on guard.
They have a shove similar to the Lawbringer, but their shove is better by itself because it confirms into damage. So you got to be on your guard with sidestepping. Against Lawbringers, haven't really fought too many good Lawbringers, but the general consensus is you want to parry them and avoid their shoves. You can sidestep their shoves and punish them very much. You can even backstep as well. But sidestep it, and they can sidestep punish me by guard breaking after the fact. They can, if they're assassin, they can even do that, but guard break's probably the best way to do it. So understand that the shove is sidesteppable. No superstes is also sidesteppable and punishable on sidestep with a guard break. Conqueror, Warlord, Raider, Valkyrie, Berserker, Peacekeeper, Lawbringer, Warden, Shigoki, Nobushi, Orochi, Kensei. All right, yeah, that's all of them. Cool. All right, that's done. All right, so let's see what's next. All right, so Staple confirms. This is really quick. All right, so the Lawbringer has pretty much one standard confirm, which is the guard break, obviously, which confirms into the shove. Let me go over it again. Guard break, heavy attack, side, then shove after the side heavy attack. That's confirmed. Confirms into damage though. No super stays into a light attack. That's top light, and then just to make sure, side light as well. That's it. That's the only confirm we have. Congratulations. That confirm is god awful in the sake of confirm, because every single class has like good confirms. So if they do this, they get that. We have to work for our confirms, but that's okay because we get the we get the most consistent form of a type of damage, and that is stamina damage. It's hard to avoid shoves, especially when you need to attack us to kill us. So eventually you gotta attack us, and we're gonna get damage on you when you don't get damage on us, if I can block the right way. Other confirms. Obviously, when my opponent's gassed out, I can throw them on the floor and then get him with a top heavy attack, which is a confirm. But that's about it. No other confirms. The combos don't chain or anything like that. So Domus, get hit by the top light attack real quick, but then block the second attack. So there you go. Block the first attack. I mean, don't block the first attack, but block the second. I'll do another combo, which is just light into heavy, or heavy into light. So you see, none of the combos put my opponent in such a stun state that the second attack confirms, all right? So we only have one confirm. Gotta have to get used to that. All right, what next? All right, so a lot of these guides, I'll say off the bat that I do appreciate these guys for making Lawbringer guides, but I think that there's a certain aspect about their guides that's misleading, and they give the concept of quote-unquote combos. So let me give you an example of what it is that they do. Looks fancy, right? Look at my stamina. Fucking gone. All right? That's one aspect. Second aspect is none of that was a combo at all. Domus, just defend at any point, please. Oh no, he guard broke me. So combo is done. That's it. There's no combo. Now, that's the beautiful part about the mix-up game, is that your opponent has to think about what to do. But at no point are these combos. If we're going to use fighting game terms, let's use some fighting game terms. The official term for this series of attacks is called a reset. That is what you need. That's what people need to know. This is a reset, which pretty much means that I do a move and then I attempt to reset the situation by doing an attack again that can cancel into a confirm of some sort. So it's a reset, not a combo. A combo implies that this series of attacks are free, that cannot be dealt with or defended against, but at any point they can be confirmed. Now, as I did that example, you notice that my stamina bar was low, so we need to refine this. So what's the best way to chain your attacks? This way. That is your main. That is your main
I was hoping it would
combo.
work.
So I'm gonna do it again. Now, as you can see, it's not even free, right? It's not even free. But at the same time, you're not blowing a lot of your stamina, and your mind is kept solid because you're not thinking 2 steps ahead and then get stuffed at step 1 by the Orochi. So now, don't defend against it, and I want you guys watching to pay attention to the stamina that I have. I'm still good on stamina. I attacked my opponent for pretty much a heavy attack worth and a light attack. So I got about 1.5 bars of damage on him for half stamina, and the only confirm was at the end, which was this attack. So the notation for that is guard break, heavy attack from the side, after you land the heavy attack, shove, after the shove, no super stays, and after the no super stays, light attack. It's a lot to take in, but you're utilizing the small aspects that we went over earlier, which definitely involves the shove, and I use it in 2 different ways, or actually just one way now I think about it, is after the heavy attack confirms. So, keep that in mind. Now, there is something that within the duel of me and Damas here fighting, I am now going to take credit for naming it, or at least when I do it, I call it the back fourth shimmy. And this is, I don't want to say gimmicky, but it shouldn't work. You shouldn't expect this to work, but it's good in Dominion when you want to kill someone fast, because in my book, it's the fastest way to kill somebody. Fast way to kill someone involves not knocking them down and doing the most damage within a time frame of 10 seconds. And it goes a little something like this.
Got him. Skiing on him.
Now, you can only do it about 3 times, as the 4th time will gas you out. But 3 times is essentially all you need, because you damage the fuck out of them. if they don't know how to guard break. Let it be a noob trap. You don't need to do anything else if your opponent doesn't tech. Do that all day. I just wouldn't recommend making that your main fighting style. Let it be your level 1 of sorts, right? Test the waters. Guard break often. So, to close up the combo variant again, the combo that you should be doing is this. And then there you go. Seems like Damas has disconnected. Maybe we can get him back real quick. Just a second. Oh no, he's been replaced with a bot. Damas, we back? It said, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it did say he joined back up. Let me see if I can get him. This is actually a really good segue into the feats and abilities because I'd have to remake the room anyways. Damas, you with us? Brother. I'm going to invite him real quick. Some personal stuff. Alright. His name is Brindamus, but his gamer tag is Brindamouse. But it is Brindamus. And this stream, this video has gone on for a while. So I'm not gonna go into like those minute details unless he is not back, which it doesn't seem like he is. But actually, even though I would have liked to have him around when he's closing out, I can go over stuff that I don't need a partner for right now. So thank you to Damas. Shout out. His gamer, he's Xbox. You see his gamer tag. It's Brenda Mouse. Hit him up if you want some Orochi action. If you want to be with a good Orochi, if he's free to play. So let's go over feats and abilities. I'm almost done here. So let us get to it real quick. I just do it this way. Okay. So, Lawbringer. The feats. We're gonna go over the feats now. Right. So, how can I do this? All right. I'll do it this way. Recommended feats are right here. Conqueror. I'll read it out. Passive. Capture control zones faster and boosts last longer. At first glance, it's kind of a very low value feat, and it is a low value feat, but the other ones suck too. I'll go over them though, but I'm just going to tell you the recommended list for those who just want to know it and then move on. This is good for both Dominion and that's probably him texting me now. Okay, he's restarting. Pretty much it's good for Dominion and elimination and skirmish modes. Dominion because you're capturing the zones faster. That's the only reason why you take Conqueror is for the zone capture. You still need to be level 1 to be able to use this ability, but it's really good to capture the points while you're trying to be sneaky about it, or capture points while you've kept your opponent outside of his zone and you can capture it as fast as possible. The second level is Righteous Deflection. It's really good because once you have this unlocked, every time you parry, you get a 50% damage reduction buff. It's similar to another ability within the line called Juggernaut, without the slowing debuff as well. Second Wind, it's a heal. It's really good. Useful in 2v1s, 3v1s, or 4v1s. The others are not so bad. Protected Revive is okay if you are playing Skirmish and even playing Elimination. Dominion is good too, but in Dominion you're a rook and you need to just defend your point. you're not going to really be seeing too many of your allies to revive them. But it's a really good skill to have. And then you have, how am I going to say this? Pugno Mortis or Pugno Mortis. Took Latin, but even still, I don't know how to pronounce some of these words. It's pretty much a light damage attack. It's not worth it, in my opinion. You want second wind. And then finally, you have Igneous Ember. My favorite ability out of the 3 traits, but the good thing about it is they're all really good to have. But I recommend offensive feats instead of defensive one. Regenerate is good for elimination and skirmish, but an elimination is a series of 1v1 duels. And if you're a really good Lawbringer, you're never going to make use of this. But if you're a really good Lawbringer, you can very well make use of this when you're in a situation where you're carrying your team, but somehow you're in a 3v1 situation. And one Igneous Ember could essentially turn the tide in the game. So this is just recommended feats. I'll go over the first tier since I didn't really go over that. You got Harsh Judgment. I used to run this a lot, but then I did testing and noticed that it wasn't all that bad. I mean, it wasn't all that good. Pretty much, it increases the stamina cost of all of their abilities, but you don't see a notable difference on the attacks. You see it on the rolls. So in a normal situation where they can take 5 rolls before they gas out, they'll gas out in 3 rolls. But you'll find yourself and your opponent not rolling often enough for it to help you out. It doesn't prevent them from sprinting. It doesn't slow their movement. It doesn't do anything really. And you have body count, which is good if you like defending point B, the point that is occupied by NPCs, because it gives you health and stamina as you kill them. Not only is it good for farming NPCs, but it's also good for fighting enemies within point B. You fight your enemy, and then you do an AoE zone attack, and then you do, with body count, you're healing yourself with all of that. So give me a second. I'm going to see if I can get Damas back in here. Damas! Welcome back, man. Don't worry about the disconnect. It was a good chance to segue into the final section of this guide. I'm going over feats right now. I just finished going over the feats, and I'm going to need you for some nasty no-nos for the Lawbringer and the final point. I know I'm taking up a lot of you guys' time, so I'm going to try. I don't want to rush this, though. This is the first time, but I don't want to make this unnecessarily long here. So let me pull up my notes again. Okay, so now I'm going to set up a room. First, let me invite Damas. I'm going to set up a room where there's going to be 2 people, and we're going to go over some tactics real quick. Now, this one is going to be rough to do on the fly. Because it's going to require me to be on point, and hopefully I can get this done in as little as time as possible. So what left, just for those who are following right now, we're going over the do's and don'ts, the moves that you should and shouldn't do, or mainly shouldn't do now. We've gone over the moves that you should do. We're going to go over the moves that we have but we shouldn't do, and then we're going to go over the revenge mode tactics. And that's going to require multiple people. So, let's set up this game real quick, and I'll get raw. No, I'm not even gonna do that. We're gonna get right into it. All right. Let's see here. Update. Let me vent a little. 5-second vent. How is it that like the Knights we dominate? Well, we're not dominating now. What the hell? Oh God. Well, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on my venting words actually, because it's gonna contradict what I say. The point is, interesting how the last round results went. Samurai were close. I'll give Samurai, I'm not questioning the Samurai's win. It's a little odd how, Knights were 3rd. Whatever, though, maybe I'm a little salty. Maybe there's some fact between my issue here. All right. Oh, boy. Okay. So let's see. We need a 2v2 situation now. But we need to set it up to where I don't have a bot on my team. So we're going to give... I'll make him a knight. Make him level 1. Put him on the blue team. Alright. Now then, let's set up some options real quick. No damage. Revive can be on. Gear stats off. No timer, please. 99 just in case. That doesn't matter. No auto adding bots. Hey, Domus, you still with me? Domus? Alright. Well, fortunately... Oh. Okay, no, he's still joining the game. But let's see if he's still here. Damo.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay.
Alright.
So now what we're gonna go over is we're gonna go over the do's and don'ts. And I'm gonna try to do revenge mode tactics as well. But keep in mind, did it show the feats that I had yet? It didn't show feats that I had. Which means that I probably turned them off. Which means I already messed this up. Shit. Damn it. You know what? It's not important. The feats aren't important. Point is that righteous deflection is important in 2v1s because when you deflect one of your opponent, you're now taking 50% reduced damage. There'll be a blue icon above your health meter that shows when you have it. And again, you take about pretty much half damage. Take my word on it. We're one-shotting this. Or one-taking this. Alright, I'm going to get my... Domus is going to kill me because I don't like this map as a tutorial stage. So go ahead and just knock me off. Nani!
The disrespect.
Oh. That's like an excess of cherry blossoms. Do they give you more cherry blossoms?
It is, yeah.
That is crazy. I think they buffed cherry blossoms. Alright, now I got the knight here. Piece of Cabo. Oh, yeah, I was on Reddit. I'm definitely gonna follow Reddit for Honor. They were going over misheard quotes, and so the female warden says "Tisa Cabo," which means like I'll cut you up or something like that. But people misheard it like "Pizza Cabo." I was like, "Ah, oh, that's funny, yo." Pizza Cabo. Why are we back at this stage?
Oh, for the brawl, it's the same stage and it just switches sides. You're gonna have to redo it.
No, you know what? That's fine. We'll just do the stage. I thought that maybe we'd get the other one. Like we'd have like a battle royale somewhere. All right, so Domus, your role, you're just not gonna attack me. Just gonna stay close to me though. All right. All right. So, as I'm fighting one person and defending a spot, you'll often find yourself being accompanied by somebody else. A wild Orochi appears, as you can see. So I'm gonna focus on him real quick. So when you're focused on one opponent, you can easily defend against that person no matter which side they attack by just making your defense there. This shouldn't be news to you guys. It's in the advanced practice, right? The reason why this is important is because when you block, you put yourself in an all-block state in that second. Whoops. And
hey,
so...
chick, don't hit me!
Alright. So, we have abilities that we can do within this. That move right there. But don't block it, please, so I can show this move, please.
My bad reflex.
There you go. So what that is when you parry the attack, you press heavy attack, you'll push yourself away from your opponent. It's a decent move, but it's easy to block against. So I'm gonna put that on my do not use list. Just don't do it, guy. Don't do it. But the good news about this move is, well, hold on, let's see if I can do it. Oh my god, come on, come on. Gotta be on point here, come on. The good news is that unlike your running charge attack, you can, in fact, switch the side in which you attack. So it's more useful, but I still wouldn't do it. You have another attack. You could use your parry riposte But then you have that move right there. Oh god, doing the wrong move. It's hard. You gotta press, once you parry, you gotta press both your attack buttons, just like that. And after you parry, you'll do an AoE attack. This attack is very good. Only when you are in revenge mode. Do not do it when you're not in revenge mode, because you see all that stamina I lost is bad. Before I go into revenge mode, I want to make sure I got all my options here. But yeah, so pretty much the other two parry moves you don't want to do. So keep that in mind. All right. Did I miss anything? No. All right. So now we're going to go into revenge mode tactics. The way you want to play revenge mode is essentially... All right, Domus, you can start attacking me now. So you're in a situation where you're fighting two people. You want to use revenge mode when they attack you, because then they'll get knocked down.
They get knocked down.
Your shove, when you're in revenge mode, knocks them down. Keep attacking me. Get used to defending multiple people just like this. Now, when you're in revenge mode, you see your shove knocks people down. Keep attacking me. I should have turned on gear stats, because my revenge mode doesn't last for shit, man. This is bullshit. Oh my god. So pretty much you're like a giant elephant fighting off lions or some shit. You want to make sure that your defense, just like what we talked about in duels, is on point. You're already, if you follow my guide to this point, you understand the importance of being able to guard break counter and being able to defend on point. So that doesn't change when you 2v1. It just makes it a little more difficult. But if you use your shove, 2v1s aren't so bad, and you're preventing a lot of damage. Try to get revenge one more time, so I can, there we go. Keep doing it. I need revenge again.
Yes.
Alright, revenge mode. Alright. Keep attacking me. See, like that,
oh,
even though I was in revenge mode. So I'm gonna try it again. That's disrespectful too, by the way. That disrespect was all fuck. I love that move. It's quick. I really fucked up in setting this off. I should have turned my... I don't know why I turned off gear stats. But pretty much this is how you're handling it. All the lions are trying to eat you. Not lions. You know what? No, I've seen Dr. Mew. Lions try to do this on the elephants.
Hyenas.
I mean, yeah, I guess hyenas, but hyenas are stupid too. Like, it had to be like a good big cat, but I can't put tigers on the cutting block like that. I'm gonna just say
cheetahs.
Yeah, but cheetahs aren't like that though. They chase like
they don't. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say lions. Lions do it. They're stupid and try to contest and try to eat an elephant, and they pretty much get pushed back. So keep that in mind. All right, one more time. All right, so essentially that's how you pretty much... We went through a good rotation of pretty much a 2v1 situation. Your opponent is going to be smart, just like what Domus did, and know that they can't just attack, so they're going to guard break you as well. So make sure you're also on your guard from guard breaks. People like the Raiders, they like to do unblockables, so you want to be sidestepping. Even though you're in a 2v1, and even though you can handle yourself being a pillar, you want to constantly be moving all the time. So definitely tech these. All right. So now we got over revenge mode, tactics, and all right. I'm gonna wrap this up now by going over my honor code. All right. So when we're in a 1v1 situation, or we're in a situation where it's just imagine a 1v1, but it's a 1v2 or something. All right, Domus, you have to be my guinea pig here. Actually, you know what? This guy actually will be. Oh, I failed miserably. See if I can do this. knocking someone off the ring is pretty much okay, guys. The main reason why it's okay is because they can sidestep your shoves and punish you, so it's risky to even shove, and they can guard break your throw attempts. Do not let anybody...
Not only is it...
Go ahead.
It's expected. It's expected to get shoved off. At least for me.
So it pretty much plays into the meta strategy of know your surroundings. I'm okay to fight here, and I can step back as much as I want because I know that I can't be knocked off the ledge. But I'd be a fool to pretty much be in this situation, right? And now, pretty much, my senses are heightened. He even wants to try to feint me, but we all know what he's going to try. We all know what this dude's going to try.
It's so going to happen now.
Flip his ass over, and we're going to do that shit.
Damn.
It's meta as fuck, guys. Know your surroundings. Use your surroundings. Use your environment, because if you don't, we give the Orochi the advantage. Orochis, in my opinion, are one of the most supreme duelists in this game. You do not stand a chance at them toe-to-toe. You have to keep them on their guard, and you have to pretty much distract them from their offense by giving them something to worry about. In duels, it's just you and your mix-ups. But in an environment where you can ring them out, they have to worry about ringing them out. So do not worry about it. As far as 2v1s goes, I have the most fun when I'm outnumbered. This is theatrical as all shit to me, and I hate that I'm the minority here. I hate that people don't think that this is fun. But it... Oh, you was
no, you don't. Shit, I'm gassed. Shit.
If he would have attacked me one more time, that'd be it for him. So, in a 2v1 setting, if you're the one who is 2v1ing, you can follow a set of codes, right? My code is I'll let my... Oh, God. I'll let my opponent...
It's gonna happen. Let it happen.
Nah, Rochi's got that shit throw distance. No.
Damn, it hurts, man. It hurts trying to do this.
Oh, no! Yes! Alright.
Damn.
Okay. So pretty
so
much,
hard.
when you're 2v1ing, that's when you can apply your own honor code. My honor code is, if it's a 2v1 and my opponent is not asking me for help or is not asking me to stay away, I will let them fight, but I will not let my ally die. My ally is dying, I will step in and at the very least throw my opponent away from my ally. The reason is simple. I'm not playing to be honorable. I'm playing to win the game here, okay? I can do both, which I just showed you. I will let my opponent 1v1 if they so choose, but I'm not going to give up a game to win. The payoff is that I relinquish my right to be salty if I get 2v1. Fortunately for me, I live for this shit. So, I'm okay. 3v1, 4v1, all day. I feel like that's what the Lawbringer's strength is. Lawbringer's strength is pretty much the 2v1s. His weakness is that he just doesn't have the raw offensive capability to deal with someone fast, which is why his role is a rook and to draw as many opponents as possible to him so that he can let knights, most notably the assassin knights, kill everybody and capture all the other points. I'd be dead like 2 times over in this situation, by the way. I was not defending worth shit. Let me acknowledge that real quick. So that's my honor code. I appreciate the makers of Ubisoft by pretty much stating that honor is what you make it. I'm not going to adhere to the whole no throwing someone off the cliff method, but I do allow my opponents, as you guys have seen in my past videos, that I do allow my opponents to reposition themselves away from ledges at the beginning of fights. So I do have that. I don't have a problem. with 2v1ing somebody if it deals, if it wins, pretty much. There's nothing that's dishonorable in this game to me at all. Even the disrespect that comes from fighting, it makes me salty. It's disrespectful in a competitive way, but it's not like foul person. How dare you? It's not like that, guys, at all. And with that, I think I've covered every aspect. So I hope
what's honorable is determined by the winner. It's as simple as that.
I'd go one step further.
So don't die.
I would say honor is determined by who is simply better. If you're the better person, then you can set your own honorable rules. If you are super duper honorable where you're so good that you can let your opponent beat 3 of your allies and then let 3 of your opponents face you because you didn't take the opportunity to kill them because of your honor and you end up winning, guess what? You're super honorable, motherfucker. Why? Because you're better. You don't need to kill somebody to do it that way. But guess what? There's no such thing as winning the wrong way. Unless you cheat, I guess, or hack. I guess in that case, that is kind of winning the wrong way. But this is an honorable guide, assuming that you're not cheating or hacking or anything like that. I wouldn't advise it anyways because cheating and hacking only get you a high level. And let me tell you, if you're a high level and suck, that's going to feel way worse than being a low level and being godlike. So keep that in mind. If there are any questions that you guys have, or if there's any feedback that you guys probably may want to give, I'd appreciate the feedback. Let me know. Find me on Xbox, HDeezus. I mean, you can probably see it. Oh, you can't see it right now. But I'm pretty sure it's been shown somewhere along the lines. I already told you guys, Brendamus right here. We're part of a team called Final Round, or a group, whatever you want to call it. I won't advertise what we do just yet. More shit, but we've been at this for years. Friends for years, and you'll see him a lot more, or not a lot more, but you'll see him often in my videos, typically more for the weekend ones. Hope you guys got something out of this. It was way longer than I thought it would be, but I definitely got all the information out there, and I hope you guys consider playing Lawbringer, and if you already play Lawbringer, I hope this leveled up your game. Any closing remarks, Thomas?
You pretty much said it all, man.
All right, man. I just want to make sure I
Keep
covered
the
all
fight
my
going.
bases. Yes, definitely. I encourage you guys to pretty much stick with For Honor. Server issues will come and go. There will be disrespectful players, man. But if you play a character because you like that character, stick with that character. You know, stick with the character, and then you'll be a mighty X character. You know, whoever. Until then, this is HDeezus featuring Final Round's Damas. And we're out of here.